Stein here once again. Just want to do a quick review for the setups for today for potential plays. So first of all, just wanted to go ahead and cover the after-hour earnings plays that I have posted for potential looks and maybe potential box-ins for today in the event that they do break out, and then the ones that are having earnings pre-market today, which is just two of them. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is AVAV, all right, which is AeroVironment. All right, so this one had earnings after hours last night, and this is a sub 100 stock, but as you can see here, it's already going to open down. It's going to gap down. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it has done the last few times it has had earnings. All right, so starting back in 17, it caused earnings on this day. The next day it gaps down and then it rallied. Okay, so that's one gap down to a rally. On this one in 18th fiscal quarter, first quarter, you're looking at earnings, gaps up and continues higher. This one, earnings, gaps up and continues higher to sideways. This one gaps down and then continues to go down to be followed by a rally the day after that. On this one, we gapped down to be followed by a rally. On this one, we gapped up to be followed by a rally. On this one, it gaps down to go down. On this one, it gaps up, goes up, and then comes down. So we got a lot of ups to a few downs. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Overall, mostly 6 ups, even though this one went down the day after earnings. It actually ended up rallying the days after that. So depending on how you set up your play for this one. So as you can see here, we're already looking to open at around 55. No pre-market data as of right now. So we have to see where that pre-market data ends up being today. Right now, you're looking at a bid of 55, ask of 57. So it's looking to open around 55 through 56 or something like that. Let's take a look at the daily charts for our support and resistance levels. Let's see what we have available here. RSI still has room to run to the downside as of yesterday, but if it opens below 60, it'll probably put it at those levels there where it needs to come out of that zone. So let's see what kind of support we have at these levels. All right, so moving out, you look at 56. I guess this is when the IPO was released. 56 is the only support level this thing has at this point. So I say it has a pretty good chance of gapping down at this level and then rallying from there. This is probably really strong support. And then when it fails to, and let me double check that I have more than a year. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me adjust this time frame so we don't get fooled here. All right, there we go. That's much better. All right, here we go, guys. All right, so I'm just going to zoom out and take a really good look at this and see where it has to go next. All right. All right, so taking a look at this. Yeah, so the low here was around 55, 56. So this could be the next potential support level. So if it starts to rally right from the beginning, it may just do a repeat of, let's see which one. This one right here where it gapped down and then just rallied. Which is, this one seems to like to rally after it gaps down. Even here, did it here. This is the only one here that it gapped down and it actually went down for the day, only to be followed by a rally. So far from the looks of it, it's making a pretty tight box. We'll see what the pre-market data offers us a little closer to the open. If this one offers any pre-market data, as I can see here, most of the other days, it does not offer us too much. Oh, then again, they do get rid of that stuff. So we'll see what kind of data it has for us on the pre-market once we get closer to the open. So that is it for AVAV. Let's go ahead and take a look at FedEx and see. So for AVAV, if it does break the 56, 55 area level, then it is a good time to start shorting this thing to the downside, possibly to 49, followed by 44. If it rallies, which is probably a little bit more likely, I would say we would come back to close the gap at least at 62. So that's there. And then you obviously just have to manage your position. If you decide to trade this one according to your account size, and just set your stops to be 1 compared to the 3 to 4 or 5, you're looking to get rewarded. So if you're looking to target, for example, from 55 to 49, then you make your stop close above 56. If you're looking to make your target the close of the gap at 62, then you make your target a close below 54, meaning that when you see that it's going lower, etc. So that's that for AVA. Let's go ahead and take a look at FedEx. FedEx had earnings after hours as well last night. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what FedEx has for us. All right, so FedEx seems to have had a wild ride right after earnings, only to start heading higher. And as you can see here on the pre-market, it's already continuing to head higher. So let's see what it has offered us in the past. All right, so let's see. Taking a look at FedEx here. And earnings are called, and it gaps down, shoots down, only to be followed by a rally. Here, it gapped up to be followed by a rally, and then sideways action. Gaps up to sell off, to be followed by minor sideways to sell off here. On this one, it opens flat to be sold off. It tries to rally, obviously it fails, and then it sells off for the days that followed. Sells off on this one, gaps down and sells off, gaps down, sells off, gaps down, sells off, gaps down, rallies a little bit, and then sells off and goes sideways. So we got 1, 2, 3 ups to about 4 downs. So this is what it seems to like to do. It likes to sell off here. Let's take a look at the daily, see what it's looking like. The overall trend right now is downwards after it set up this pattern here at 167. It's trying to open at 160. So it's looking to close this gap here. So if it does go higher, obviously our next target is 170 area right here. And it only needs about a week to get there. On earnings days, it'll probably get there a little bit faster. So it'll probably be able to get there today if it does manage to rally and stay above this pivot today. Overall, from what I'm seeing on the charts, I mean, this thing is on a downwards trend. The next target for this one on the downside was 150. So if it does fail right away and you see it breaking down below these pivots, so on the box, you're obviously going to use this pivot as the main line for it. So pre-market high, I would definitely just use the pivot. It's a little bit stronger, and the previous day's high as your areas of indication here. A break above or a break below here would indicate the direction more than likely of where this thing is looking to go today. And then your targets are set at either 170 or 150, and then your stops can be pretty tight depending on which way direction you take it. So I would play that one in that direction. If you're looking at the RSI already on the pre-market, it's already pretty high, so it looks like it may want to come out of that area to make sure that it hits it stabilizes again. So that's that for FedEx. And did have good earnings, but let's see. It seems to have had good earnings before, and it still gapped down or went down, and then followed by a rally. So this is going to be an interesting one to play. I'm going to add it to my chart because I definitely want to keep an eye on it and see what FedEx does today. All right. All right. So the next one was MU. Let's go ahead and take a look at MU. All right, MU sub 100. Okay, this one is Micron. This is way below 100. Options does have options, but not much of a mover. I'm gonna skip this one because I'm not gonna keep an eye on it at all myself. But if you want to take a look at it, just follow the same process. Go ahead and go over to the Analyze tab. And just do the same process and kind of plan out your strategy for it and see what you want to do. All right, then we have SNX, which is SignX. So let's see what this one is doing. Okay, looking at the daily already, I can see it's set up a reversal and it's kind of trying to just head lower. So the first target for this one would definitely be this 200 MA. But looking at the after hours earnings, it obviously rallied. You have these two massive green bars here. As it opened, rallied, then it opened back to where it was, and then it rallied, and now it's trying to open at 96, which is basically this resistance level right here, which makes it actually a pretty easy trade now. Because now you see, if it breaks above it, then it wants to rally. If it stays below it, then it wants to go lower. First target, the 200 MA, followed by this 86 level here, 86 support area. It moves about $2 per day. On earnings days, you can expect it to move a little bit more. So I had earnings. On this earnings day, afterwards, it moved from 91 all the way to 94. So it had $4, so around double the range. So from 96, you can expect it to go to 100 or back down to 92, where it closed yesterday, basically closing the gap. So pretty simple one here. And that's how I would play that one. So analyze, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, earnings, gaps up, tries to shoot down, and then it just rallies. Earnings, gaps up, shoots down, shoots up, pretty much ends up flat for the day after it, but a massive gap up there. And then it just rallies a little bit over the days that followed. This one, it gaps down and goes down, gaps down and goes down, gaps down and goes down. This one, it gaps up, tries to go down, but it actually ends up rallying to then be followed by a move lower. This one gaps up and goes up and then sells off at the days after. And on this one, it gaps up and sells off for the day, but in the end, ultimately, it ends up rallying. So it seems to have a lot of up overall. So just keep an eye on that. And then again, this one is pretty simple, I think. Looks pretty simple to me, honestly. So I'm definitely going to add this one to my chart. I'm going to replace one of these here. Let's put SNX. And keep an eye on this one, because this one is pretty clear now. 96 is a very strong resistance point, so you can expect it to move $4. Look at this. You got the 50 MA and you have the 200 MA. So it's likely to hit one of these two today. So it's either going to head in one direction or the other. When you're looking at the pre-market data, you just pretty much know a break above, and as long as it breaks above that pre-market high of 96.58, it's probably going to continue going higher. So if you see a break above 96.58, 97, so this resistance level here was, the high was 96.14. So we're already above that now. So if it opens and it goes higher immediately, it's probably going to continue going higher. If it opens, goes higher, and then it comes back below this, then you know you can you monitor it, and you give yourself enough time, but at the same time not too much time to get wiped out, and then you just close it. So I would say if you get in to go long, get out at 96. If you see a reversing, and then just go to the opposite side. If you see a break open and immediately go red and it breaks down below 96, it's probably going to go low back down to 92. And then your stop could be, again, a break above 96.58. So you're giving yourself a 58-cent stop going short, pretty much 58-cent stop, 50 to 60-cent stop to $1 for a $4 gain. So it's really not that bad, the risk to reward there. And that's how I'm going to be looking to play it based on what I'm looking at here. All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, for the ones being announced this morning today, we got PayX. Let's see what PayX has to offer for us here. All right, this one is announcing pre-markets. Doesn't look like we have any data on it just yet. All right, we only have the previous day's lows, previous day's high. Earnings being announced at 8:30 a.m. All right, so I'm a little early for these. And let's check the other one was UNF. Yep. All right, I'm a little early. The process is going to be the same. I'll try to go ahead and add those as well to this video before the end. So I'll see you guys in a bit. The last two here, we got Paychex Inc. Just reported earnings. Looks like, let's see. All right, it looks like it's there. We definitely have some pre-market action already coming in. So pre-market open is at 82.38, which means it's gapping down about $2. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Analyze tab here. All right, the last few times it has earnings, it gaps down, shoots down, comes up, finishes up green for the day as a green candle. But then pretty much sideways stays on that trend to the downside. On this one, it gaps up, pretty much a choppy day up, down, and then it's up flat from where it opens. And then it is followed by a rally, gaps down, and pretty much comes up. This one gaps up and then sells off after being already in a downtrend. This one gaps up and sells off, followed by sideways / slightly upwards. And on this one, we gapped down to push down and then end up higher for the day. On this one, it ended up flat, followed by a continuation of the trend. This one ended up being a flat. So this one seems to do a lot of flat overall, either the day off or the days that follow. So this one would be one that you'd want to play if it has a lot of volume coming in. This one may be tricky. So it on the pre-market, it opened at 82.38, and right now it's shooting up back to 84, trying to close that gap. So we'll see where it ends up. But let's take a look at the daily and see where it could potentially go depending on where it opens. So if it opens flat, I mean, it's already downtrending from 88 back down. It still has room to run down to, well, 82, 83 was the level here to go to. So this one may be tricky. After that, followed by, yeah, man, this thing was 84. Was the one over here, followed by 82.95, which it broke through, followed by 81. So this one is maybe tricky because, I mean, it already hit those levels and it's bouncing off of it. I don't think I like this one that much. When at all confused or it's just not giving you clear signals, it's best to just move on and skip. And that's my personal opinion. But if you guys like this one and you see something that you like, you see something that you'd want to trade, you see that it'll be an easy trade for you, by all means. And like I've said before, make sure you are trading your plan the way you like to trade. You know what I mean? If you're following the boxing strategy, just stick to the plan. The plan is exactly the same no matter what you're trading, so long as you're just sticking to it. But you know, everybody's emotional, everybody's perspective, everybody's looks at things differently. So I just don't see it in this one. Personally, it's at 82.38 now, which is somewhere around here. So from here, the next level to the downside is about 80 bucks. So it has room to run there, $2. But it's just a slow mover, only moves about $1 a day, $2-3 in a week, which you can expect on earnings days that it might do that. But this one seems to be pretty choppy overall. When it comes to earnings, and the last couple of earnings especially, it just goes up, goes down. So I just don't want to keep an eye on this one at all. Let's go back and look at UNF. The only thing I would do with this one is play a longer term play after it decides which way it wants to go, and play the longer term play as far as, hey, normal, you know, it is choppy the day of earnings, but the days that follow, it likes to, you know, go in this direction or follow the current trend. So if it does want to continue going lower, hey, how much more can I get? Can I get an extra $2 or $5 out of this if I push it out a month? And that's pretty much how I would probably play it, but I'm not even going to add this one to my list. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at UNF. Here we go. This one's a little bit more on my side of things, but all right, previous day, this one, earnings. All right, no pre-market data. So there's nothing I can do with this one here. Let's take a look at the Analyze tab, see what it has offered in the past. Earnings, flat and rallies to be followed by another gap and then sells off. This one opened with a gap up to sell off drastically during the earnings. Nice push down, but you definitely had to get out of that one that day. This one gapped up to sell off to be followed by up to be followed by a sell-off. This one gapped up and rallied to be followed by a reversal to a sideways. This one gapped up massively and sold off. So if this one gaps up today, from what I see here, it likes to gap up and possibly sell off. So that might be a good play. This one gapped down and sold off. This one gapped up and rallied. But as you can see, when it rallies, it doesn't have any wicks to the downside. So if it starts to go higher, it's probably going higher. Like you see this one. The only ones that have wicks are the down ones. So you can hear it wicked up higher, wicks, and then sells off. But it was very short-lived. These are very short-lived wicks. But when it rallies, it actually just goes straight out. So it's like straight from the open, it just rallies. So that's something to note there. But overall, no pre-market data to reference. You can only reference the previous day's lows, previous day's close, and previous day's highs. So depending on where this one opens, that's how you kind of have to analyze and see where you how you want to take this one. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you can find a trade in any of these here. So again, the ones that we reviewed today were AVAV, FedEx, and SNX. For the ones that did data, post-market data, as you can see here, AVAV continues to try to push higher now after hitting all-time new lows or lows at the post-market of 53. So on the pre-market data now, starting to rally back up to 57, trying to close that gap. Then you have FedEx. All right, FedEx is continuing to push higher here. So FedEx is continuing its push onto the upside. And then let's take a look at SNX. All right, SNX pre-market opens at 96.58. Again, no change here just yet. So that one is still going higher. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Hope you guys can find a decent trade today. And I'll see you guys at the end of the day.